Tot, where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
Today we are joined by Susie Falk from the Falk Group Public Relations, plus Jeff Wagner is back with us. 27,000 pages of emails were made public yesterday. They detail a secret email system that allowed Milwaukee County employees to do campaign work while on county time for Scott Walker. The emails were evidence in a John Doe investigation that led to criminal convictions of 6 Walker aides or supporters. But none suggested that the governor approved or condoned the secret email system. It's a big one.
Well, I mean, again, here's the bottom line, and I hate to say this because I know there's some people in the news media, they're all excited about this, but the reality is, in the real world, nobody cares. If the governor had been charged with a crime, that would of course been a big story. But it's like the judge who supervised John Doe #1 came out and said, he said, you know, the evidence is what the evidence is. If there was evidence to issue charges, charges would have been issued. So now, I mean, I understand there's the gossipy stuff, and you've got, you know, the different factions that are saying snarky things about this person or that person. And I guess for political insiders, it makes interesting sort of gossipy reading. I liken this to the stuff a couple years ago when Governor Walker got pranked called by the guy who was pretending to be one of the Koch brothers. I think this is in the same sort of vein. This isn't going to make any difference in November.
Did he know about it though, Jeff? Did Scott Walker know that this was going on?
About what?
Well, the secret wireless router, the fact that his staff was using the time to communicate with campaign folks. Did Scott Walker know about it?
If they could prove that the governor had knowledge that he was guilty of a crime, believe me, this district attorney would have issued charges, would have charged him. The fact that did not charge him tells me that they don't think they have evidence to believe that he committed a crime.
Let's talk perception here for a minute, though. I mean, it's not always the deed that does you in, as we all know. It's the deception about the deed, and the governor is now a lot closer to this situation than he ever let on. And there are probably some people, they're probably not fans to begin with, who are going to see this as evidence that the governor has been deceptive.
Well, but again, I go back to what I said at the beginning. Nobody cares. Nobody outside the fever swamps care. Now, if you're a fan of Governor Walker,
he's being thrown around as a presidential candidate. Well, what do you mean nobody cares?
Well, I mean,
this is going to be an issue.
No, it's not. It is an issue among the fever swamps. I understand it's an issue when the paper puts 11 reporters on it. I understand it's an issue in the media. It's not an issue with the average voters.
It's about his character, and it's about who he surrounds himself with, okay? And we've got 2 forms of cheating going on here. One is cheating of taxpayers' dollars that are being spent on the county workers who are using that time to campaign for Governor Walker or County Executive Walker, and then you also have the fact that all this is being hid from public scrutiny. So I think there is a lot at stake here, and I think the public will decide whether or not he's presidential material down the road, but we do need to vet this out.
Well,
Last word, Jeff, go ahead.
4 years ago, I don't think, let's just talk about the November elections, I don't think one person is going to change their vote because of anything that came out yesterday.
Okay, coming up next, we reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And here's a look at the roads on I-94 in Kenosha from CarCam. Brian Goddard will hot. It's our viewer's choice of the day.
Again, we're joined by Susie Falk and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. The viewer's choice today, not only have we been dealing with cold and snow, but potholes are aplenty. The Department of Public Works says they've received more than 1,200 pothole requests. Mayor Tom Barrett looking for help from the state to pay for a little extra pavement. What are your thoughts on that?
Jeff, did we ever figure out what happened to the wheel tax?
No, if you live in the city of Milwaukee, you pay an extra $20 for the privilege of keeping your car in the city of Milwaukee per car. That money is supposed to be used to repair the road. So I'm just wondering, first of all, what happened with that $20?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
We have that question being answered by the controller. We hope to get back to you on that.
Okay, good.
Like here's the bottom line. You know, look, there are problems. There is no question about it. And things need to be fixed. I'm actually with my friend Bob Donovan, who says, you know, given the awful condition of the roads and the need to improve the infrastructure, we've got $54 million sitting around. What's better use? Putting it to use on a streetcar that's going to go 2.1 miles, or fixing the roads and improving transportation in the region?
I got a phone call from Bob Donovan a couple weeks ago with that same, and the same thing. He laid out a scenario where if, you know, these stars align, all this money can be used for other things. I talked to the people involved. They all say Bob is off his rocker here, and this money is for streetcars only, or it goes back to the federal government.
Well, see, but I mean, I don't know. If you have the governor and you have the county executive,
and you have an act of Congress.
no. We've learned not. Look at this president. Just decides what rules he wants to enforce and what he doesn't. If Tom Barrett decided that he wanted to use his clout and go to Washington, you mean to tell me we couldn't
use his? Okay,
okay,
that's the thing. There would have to be a lobbying process. It doesn't just flip like a switch if these stars align, and that's what Bob thinks is possible here.
Well, I believe this could happen if people wanted it to happen. We've seen with delays of all sorts of stuff and enforce this law, don't enforce this law. If people wanted it to happen, I think it could happen.
Susie, last word.
The truth be told, you guys know a lot more about this than me, but I do know that Dave Beagle is saying there's something more like 100,000 potholes.
Yeah.
He did the math. There's a real problem
on Humboldt
out there.
alone.
Yeah. I don't know where the money's going to come from, but there's a significant problem. And we also have attorneys that are getting involved now. And as we talked about Sunday, Jeff, there are pothole attorneys, and some of the more well-known attorneys in town with big websites, and they're spending money on advertising. They're starting to promote their pothole attorneys, and those attorneys are going after municipalities who aren't taking care of the problem.
And just real
they'd
quick,
have to rip up the entire Milwaukee and start all over. There's so many potholes.
Well, that's it. See, I've lived here my entire life. I've never heard the phrase frost heave before. Now I'm finding out about frost heave as well.
Okay, let's do lightning round real quick here, because
we'll never get to it.
Not much time left.
Well, there are just a few days left in the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. The Winter Olympics wrap up on Sunday with the closing ceremonies. What have been your favorite parts of the Olympics so far?
Oh, I love the snowboarding. We do it so well in the United States. We lead the category, and we're developing new types of snowboarding. And what's it called, with the snow styling or whatever it is? It's incredible to watch. So's the slalom. It's all really
I just
wonderful.
learned what the slalom was this week.
You had to. I saw your pronouncer for slalom
I was
yesterday.
I'm from Cali. I'm waiting for the Winter Olympics. I mean, for the Summer Olympics.
But you're getting used to that pothole slalom, though.
Yes.
Right.
For me, it's the hockey games, men's and women's. They've been incredible. What are some great games?
That women's hockey game today, there was not a TV in the newsroom that didn't have that game on.
Great.
There were people, somebody said, I have never seen so many people interested in women's hockey before.
Great game.
And we were all riveted.
Great game. And it didn't turn out quite right for the U.S., but it was a great game. Everybody's a winner, no question about it.
And the boys can beat up Canada tomorrow.
Go USA.
That's right.
Go USA. All right, the What's Hot discussion continues online. Nice to have everybody back. I've missed this. TMJ4.com.